So you're wanting to learn how to play Wraith and Deadlock. Well, lucky enough for you, you've come to the right place, because I'll be teaching you everything you need to know. And of course, if you are new here or find yourself coming back on the regular and you aren't already subscribed, why not? You're coming back anyways. But anyways, let's dive into this guide. What I first want to talk about is Wraith's abilities. Wraith's first ability is titled Card Trick, and it's rather unique as I think it's the only ability in this game that works like this. What it is a charge up, meaning by dealing damage to either minions or players, charge up the bar so that you're able to throw a card out. Now you get more charge from dealing damage to enemies rather than minions. It's a super useful ability, especially in the early stages of laning, where you can use it to do a ton of poke damage. Upon the first level up, or by putting 2 ability points in, you will get an additional card. By putting the next upgrade into, you will gain plus 50 damage on the cards. Then on the last upgrade, you get another additional card, so 3 total. Now in the early stages of laning, you're usually using this ability to, like I said previously, poking the enemy down and just using it to harass the other laner. It doesn't AoE damage the attack that's on the smaller side, but still outputs a ton of damage. Most of the time, if you're in a gunfight and you're pretty up close, you're pretty much spamming the card button as fast as you can as you're doing damage with your primary weapon, just to get as much damage out as possible. Wraith's second ability is titled Project Mine. It's just basically a glorified TP. You throw it out and it's not a instant cast TP, but a slightly delayed TP. It's an insanely useful ability, and it really allows you to outplay your enemies, and a very essential part of her kit. And on the first upgrade of her TP, you gain a plus 15 meter cast range, making it so you can escape fights way better, or even catch opponents super easily. Once you get 2 ability points actually into the TP will then grant a bullet shield. So after you TP, it grants a bullet shield for 8 seconds. Something to note is that this shield actually scales. It scales with spirit power. So that's why you see more often than not, a lot of the Wraith builds incorporate a lot of spirit items. Then on the 5th and final ability point, it gives you a minus 28 second cooldown, making it a whole lot faster to TP around the map, get in and out of fights, and it's just generally an overall really good ability to have. Her third ability is titled Full Auto, and while as the name suggests, you give yourself full auto. Temporarily boosts your fire rate, and your teammates that are in the surrounding area or that are inside the AoE get half of that. So instead of the 20, they will get 10%. The full auto is extremely useful, especially when you're trying to take out turrets, or you have someone in your ulti and you're just trying to outburst a ton of damage in a second. Full auto can make it so you can delete enemies super quickly, help your team, and it's just an all-around great ability. Now on the first level of full auto, you will get minus 14 second cooldown. Then when you put 2 ability points in, you then get plus 5 spirit damage per bullet. That's why again, a lot of majority of the meta when it came to Wraith was building a ton of spirit items as well as a ton of damage items. Then on the final upgrade with 5 ability points, you get plus 35% bullet lifesteal. Now I believe the bullet lifesteal and the spirit power is only for yourself and not your teammates as well. It doesn't exactly say on the ability if that also applies. It only states that the fire rate is for your teammates. Who knows that bullet lifesteal and spirit power could also be for your teammates, but I highly doubt that, and go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong. Her last and ultimate ability is titled Telekinesis. What it is at its base level is a single target kind of stun CC where you lift the enemy up into the air, stunning them for a short duration, then dealing a base damage of 200 spirit damage, and the spirit damage also scales. In the early stages of the ultimate, it's a really great single target ability that's super useful in 1v1 scenarios. Most of the time, hopefully majority of the time, when you ult someone with telekinesis, you'll end up winning the 1v1 because they're stunned. And combining all of the abilities with full auto and the cards, you should be able to deal enough damage to 100 to 0 your enemy. But that's enough yapping. What are the upgrades? Well, the first upgrade, where you're putting your first ability point into, is you get a minus 28 second cooldown, which changes the cooldown from 95 seconds to 67. A pretty big change. Once you put 2 ability points into your ultimate, you gain a 0.5 second duration, so they're in the air longer for 0.5 seconds. Now when you get all 5 ability points into your ultimate, this is where the ultimate actually becomes insane. See, instead of becoming a single target ultimate, it will actually end up becoming a multi-target, which for some reason a lot of people don't know. If all players are within the radius, they will all end up getting lifted up by the ultimate, which is actually pretty crazy. Now before we dive into our playstyle, I want to quickly ask if you haven't already hit that like button, please do me a favor and hit it. It greatly helps me out and it lets me know that you want to keep seeing these videos. But what is the playstyle of Wraith? Well, the playstyle of Wraith is actually rather simple. I would say Wraith is one of the easiest characters to pick up in this game, especially if you watch my new player video where I talked about Wraith. Wraith has one of the easier times in lane, especially when it comes to collecting soul ore, because her drum mag on her Tommy gun is so large in comparison to all the other characters' ammo counts. This allows you to keep spraying out where you killed the minion to guarantee that soul hit. Her primary ability is rather straightforward, because all you have to do is deal damage and you get to throw a card. Her second ability is a TP, which allows you to pull off a lot of different movements and get out of sticky situations. Her third ability is pretty much, if you don't know exactly how to use it, just spam it whatever and you can shoot all the time super fast. And her fourth ability is a isolation ability until the max level. So the playstyle you typically want to play with her, I would say you could cater it to how you want to play. In my opinion, there's no right or wrong playstyle to play with Wraith, as she's pretty forgiving with a lot of the stuff. But if you want to hear more about this, make sure to click top right or look in the description for my new player character guide. Now, what do I think is the best build on Wraith? Well, I actually think it's Timus, a former Overwatch Pro player. I think his build has a really great mix and probably one of the best ones I've seen. But let me explain to you what this build is about. So first you have Ammo Scavenger, where anytime you secure or deny a soul, you get ammo back. Now, as you can see, my default is 52 with ammo. If I add this, put on Ammo Scavenger, I have 60, and on each soul or denial, as I waste bullets, I get ammo back each time, and it stacks as well, which is also something that's very nice and overlooked at. And you also get 2 spirit power per soul, again giving you 12 max stacks. You also get bonus health. I think it's just really great, especially since she has so many bullets already. It's pretty much a no-brainer to buy Ammo Scavenger first. Now, Infuser used to be super strong. I forget the actual stats before it was nerfed. You get, again, 50 bonus health plus 10% ammo. So right now I'm at 60 ammo. I buy Infuser. I'm at 65. You also get Spirit Power and Spirit Lifesteal for 6 seconds, which is pretty crazy, especially in the early game. So you're in the early laning game of phase, you pop Infuser, you get a ton of lifesteal and a ton of spirit power, dealing a ton of damage early on. He then builds into Headshot, where you deal bonus weapon damage with headshots, so plus 40 headshot bonus damage. Again, you get fire rate and a bullet shield health. If you have both of these items, you have 65 bullets. You have 65 chances to get a headshot. You're probably going to get a headshot in 65 shots. And then of course, basic magazine. You want basic magazine because it's eventually going to turn into Titanic magazine, which gives you 100 ammo, 100% ammo, 18% weapon damage, plus 18% bullet resistance. This is an overall great pick. Now you want Tesla bullets. I think they recently tweaked Tesla bullets, but again, it's still really good. You get shock damage, you get damage on jump, as a lot of the time you're moving around with Wraith a lot because you have the TP, you have the mobility with the 3 stamina rather than 2 for other characters. So you're dealing damage and jumping, dealing a ton of damage off rip. I would have liked him to move, actually, yeah, I think I would have liked him to move this down into the second area, but it's fine. Sprint Boots is always a great buy on any type of character you play. Healing Rate and Reactive Barrier, depending on the lane. Healing Rate is always just a great buy. There's no reason why you shouldn't buy Healing Rate in lane, unless you're just dominating the lane. But following up, we have Active Reload. Again, Active Reload is another great buy. You get bullet lifesteal and fire rate on a successful reload. Again, I believe they tweaked the numbers recently, but I could be wrong. Then he builds into bullet resistant shredder. This is a no-brainer and a must-buy on Wraith, as most of your damage is coming from your gun. Unless you're building some type of crazy spirit build, you're going to want bullet resist shredder. Then Pristine Emblem. Your attacks have additional weapon damage against enemies above 50% HP. You also get weapon power, spirit power, and spirit resist, and you get weapon damage conditional. Again, another great buy, especially for that passive. Pristine Emblem is just going to buff everything for you. It also is buffing your shock damage on your Tesla. Then you want Combat Barrier. While you have a bullet shield, gain weapon damage and fire rate. Again, when it comes to Wraith, you're building for her gun, so there's no reason why not to get the Combat Barrier. Bullet lifesteal, pretty self-explanatory. You're playing for her gun, you have a ton of bullets, Why not get bullet lifesteal for your HP? Then, escalating resilience, grants bullet resist when your bullets hit an enemy hero. Each shot can only grant 1 stack. Well, you're playing a build that is focusing on the gun and bullet damage, so why wouldn't you get escalating? Then you're getting heal bane. Your spirit damage applies healing reduction. So your spirit damage is going to be coming from your full auto and dealing damage with full auto, or your 1 ability, or even when you do infuser. All of those work. Then after heal bane, you're getting suppressor. When you deal spirit damage to enemies, you also apply fire rate slow. So again, this is when you pop full auto, use your cards, or shoot with infuser. All of that is going to be proccing for suppressor. Then enduring speed, faster mobility. Vampiric burst. Vampiric burst is a really great item in general. A lot of characters should be using this, but you get move speed, weapon speed, bonus health, and you get a ton of lifesteal, fire rate, and ammo. Again, you're building for ammo and your weapon, so if you pop it, goes from 65. It's just a great item to have. Time to put a really good idea of putting in all these items. Then Titanic magazine, 100% ammo, weapon damage and bullet resist, like I said earlier. This is a great idea to have. Suppressor builds into Mystic Slow, so it's a no-brainer. Now, most of these items you could buy. I think out of these lists, I think Silencer, I think Ricochet is good. It all depends on what's happening. But I think one item he overlooked is actually Veilwalker. You get more ammo, more weapon damage. I think Veilwalker is a really nice buy to have. I think Leech can also be good because of the bullet lifesteal. I even think Shadow Weave could be really good. But that's just me. Overall, his build is really solid, and I think this is what you should be running if you're playing Wraith. And I plan to make my own build, which will be similar to this fashion. But anyways, hopefully this video has helped you to become a better Wraith, or just a better player in general. Again, if you're new here or find yourself coming back on the regular, do me that favor of hitting that like and subscribe button, as it greatly helps me out. But anyways, I'll catch you in the next one.